Okay, would you believe that's the view from the rooftop parking of the hospital where I go for my doctor's visits? So I was like choking up on my way. Like, I feel like I'm going to cry right now. I don't want to cry. This is so, I feel very emotional right now. I think for the first time ever, I was not treated like garbage for being as old as I am trying to have a baby. I can't even believe. I can't see the doctor who I saw when I was pregnant because she's so busy that she doesn't have a wellness exam appointment until November of 2023. So I'm on the schedule for that. But I wanted to see the nurse practitioner. I saw her when I had an issue when I was pregnant. I had like trapped gas just in my stomach and it hurt so bad. And then I went in the next day. I called the doctors just to tell them what happened, and I ended up seeing the nurse practitioner the next day just to make sure that Hannah was okay, and she was. And I just remember really liking her. So now I'm gonna start crying again. I went in for my appointment today thinking that I was gonna get just an average, pelvic exam, whatever. And that a side note was going to be, hey, by the way, I'm 45. This is my last attempt at trying to get pregnant. And I just want to see if maybe we can order progesterone tests. Like, my expectations were so low. And I was smiling and just, I'm just like, I'm not going to be intense or upset, because there comes a point when you're rejected so many times that you're on the defense. And if you watched my fertility story, you'll see that I was treated like garbage. So anyway, today's appointment was so the opposite. I can't even believe it. So the nurse practitioner, she had a girl come in to listen also that was shadowing her. She's in medical school. So anyway, but here's the thing. So the medical assistant, actually, she was an LPN also. She was a licensed practitioner. So, because her name tag said LPN too. She was asking me all these questions, and because it's funny, because I said that I wanted to just keep up on my health and not have, I talked about, like want to catch cancer before, I was keeping it about wellness. And she kind of went, okay, so I have a note here that you're trying to conceive. Like, it was almost like, okay, yeah, but aren't you trying to get pregnant? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess so, like, and it all became about that. There was no judgment. There was no eye rolling. I couldn't believe it. So I felt more like I felt more like I could trust her with, okay, and I just told her the highlights, about that I used donor sperm and the chemical pregnancies that I had in 2020, 21, and just all that kind of stuff. And so nice. I couldn't believe it. And then she left, and then the nurse practitioner, the one that I was seeing, came in. I don't know her full title. But anyway, and we talked all about it, and she said that we can go ahead and do an ultrasound before my next ovulation, which I'm day 9 now. I told her that I thought I tried to ovulate on day 6. But they're going to have me, this is crazy. So you guys I get to show you what happens here at 45 years old. I'm going to go in for an ultrasound to see if I have any follicle whatsoever growing in me right now. My LH strips are very, very light right now. However, in the past, they have done that and they got dark pretty fast. And so I'm cycle day 9 right now. And so I have been feeling little stirrings in my ovaries. And so am I still growing follicles, and am I going to ovulate in a couple days? And so I'm sure it's not covered by insurance. It's probably $500 for this ultrasound, but I can't believe this. I totally wanted an ultrasound. I thought, I wish I could have an ultrasound to see what my follicles were doing. I'm totally going to come back in 2 days because I'm off on Friday also. And I'm off today. Today is Wednesday. And so I get to come back at 12 o'clock on this Friday, for a follicle scan to see if I have anything in there. I'm not expecting, again, I have no expectations. I don't expect there to be anything going on. But what if I do have follicles and then I know that I can order sperm on Friday to come on Monday or Tuesday? You know what I'm saying? So, like, because then I'll know what the sizes are and if they're growing. So that's exciting. So, and if I don't, I've already paid for the sperm and it's sitting in storage now for the 90 days. So if I do get to call on Friday to say, hey, send me my sperm by Tuesday, I think I could get it. Or I could do overnight. I've already paid the shipping fee, so it would be an extra charge. So anyway, I can't believe it. I was treated with respect. I was treated kindly. She listened to me. She offered solutions like, let's take your blood work on day 3 of your next cycle. Let's check your AMH, which I'm sure is probably negative, in the negative. No, I'm just kidding. But super low. Even in 2017, it was like 0.19. It was ridiculously low. And yet I ovulate every month. And so, because I even looked that up before, would you ovulate an empty follicle? But I don't believe, I know that they can be empty. Like when you're doing IVF, they can go into a follicle during your egg retrieval and there's nothing in there. It can be an empty follicle. But I don't know about regular ovulation, like natural ovulation. I don't know. I almost asked that question, but I just held back. But anyway, and so I don't know. I'm kind of like in shock right now. I'm in shock. I can't believe it. I want to write a great review. Like, just can't believe how I was treated so well. I can't even believe it. So, not shamed at all. Did not feel any sort of judgment or shame. They didn't shame me for being older. I couldn't believe it. Like, I can't even believe it. Don't know what to say. So now I'm going to go home and eat lunch. But oh my gosh, I get to have a follicle scan on Friday. I pray to God that I have follicles growing. It's so cool. My average was 5 4 years ago. I may have 2, and here's the thing, I'm past dominant follicle stage. So if things were going normally, if I'm going in the normal direction and the ovulation attempt on cycle day 6 failed and my follicles continued to progress, I would be cycle day, let's see, I'm cycle day 9, 10, 11. Oh, so yeah, so cycle day 11 will be on Friday. So we'll just see if there's anything there. If there's nothing there, then I should probably have a period by the end of next week, maybe. So anyway, I don't know. That's it. I just, for once, I get to report that I was treated wonderfully. I can't even believe it. Yeah, so I will bring you along with me on this little doctor's appointment trail. And yeah, so I'll get my follicle scan on Friday, see what that is. And then if I'm out this month with trying to inseminate and everything, I'll take you along for the blood work of cycle day 3 when I'm on my period and they want to do that blood work. So, all right. Well, anyway, that is it for this little video. I'm going to get the other one up that I recorded Monday. And that's it for now. I will record what happens on Friday. All right. I will see you then. Bye. Okay, well, I just got out of Quest Diagnostics Laboratory. I got my blood drawn, and my results will be in on Monday, and we'll just see what my levels are here on cycle day 3. So I'm excited to know what's going on and see if there's anything we can do to maybe help, maybe my estrogen, maybe my thyroid, who knows? But anyway, those results will be in on Monday. Okay, so I wanted to conclude with my results from the testing I had done. I had my AMH tested, and I have not had that done since 2017, February of 2017, so it's the very beginning of 2017. And I also had like 3 different versions of my thyroid tested, which was really cool because I remember having a coworker tell me, you know, don't just get a regular, but get the T whatever. Like, I mean, there's T3, but then there's, I think it said T4. And so anyway, so whatever, all aspects of the thyroid were tested. And my FSH was tested, the LH at that time, my LH at the time of cycle day 3 was tested, and they all have ranges that they give. And it was so cool because my LH, the range started at 1.9 and I was 1.8, so really it wasn't, you know, earth-shatteringly, you know, it was almost right at the beginning of the range. And all of my other testing, oh, and my estrogen also had a range, and everything came out normal. So my estrogen was normal range, within the normal limits of what it should be on cycle day 3. My thyroid was perfect, within just in the middle of the normal range. And then my LH again was a point, like was at 1/10 of a point, you know, lower than the start of the range. And the FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, for cycle day 3, this is so awesome. So my results in 2017 for my FSH, again, normal range is supposed to be between 3 and 10. And I mentioned this in my last video about that doctor that I like talked about, you know, that's fine for, you know, younger women, but when you are older and over 35, they called it age specific FSH, because no, I'm not going to have the FSH of, you know, a 20-year-old. So, but anyway, so my FSH back in the day, and this was a year before I conceived my daughter, was at a 14, and my FSH with this last test was actually 13.8. So it went down a tiny bit. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. After 5 years, it went down a little bit. I can't even believe that. Like, I was so excited to see that. That is insane. And another thing, my AMH, you know, normal range, okay, the range for AMH was a 0.001 to 2.99. That was the range. And my AMH, and I was tested twice before quitting the group I was seeing. My last AMH in February of 2017 was 0.19. That is very, very low. That was February of 2017. I got pregnant June of 2018 with my daughter. So over a year later, with an AMH of a 0.19, I got pregnant with my daughter. So 5 years later, they tested my AMH just now, last Saturday, and it's at a 0.14. So barely different than 5 years ago. Like barely lower than, like, I was expecting negative, you know. No, they can't even. I was expecting that 0.001, to be honest with you. I was like, okay, what's the lowest you can get, you know? And sorry, I am getting sick again. That's another thing. I am having a hard time trusting BBT, although it's not at an ovulation temperature, but I think it would be lower if I didn't have this thing going on in my glands and everything. So anyway, the doctor called me at 12 o'clock today and wanted me to call her back. So I'm kind of scared. I don't know what she's going to say. I mean, all my tests, you know, all the scores were good, but it's that fear of her judging me or you know what I mean? You know, the nurse practitioner didn't judge, and they were all super nice and supportive and everything, but I don't know, for some reason I'm afraid of what she's going to say. You know, but she never knew what my AMH was with the other place. She never knew what my AMH was back then. So she doesn't have that information. So anyway, so I mean, I'll tell her, you know, well, hey, in 2017 I was 0.19, so now I'm a 0.14, so, you know, you know, woohoo. So, you know, I don't know. But anyway, so we'll see. But anyway, that is it for this video. I will put it up. But like I said, you know, I'm excited about that. I don't care. I'm still going to try and see what happens. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my ovulation video. Bye.